Hello friends, after a long time there's finally something new from me. The company NextPCB contacted me and asked me to present their new program NextDFM. I had a look at it and I think you might be interested. It's a Gerber test program. This tests many properties of your future PCB for errors and displays them on the screen. It supports several formats from Altium Designer, Protel 99SE, pads, and formats from Gerber and ODB++. It can quickly locate as well as diagnose hidden design risks with one click and provides a one-click quote to show the price at NextPCB and reduce manufacturing costs. Wonderful to avoid unpleasant surprises in PCB production. The program also offers many special functions, which we will discuss in more detail in the next videos. In the first part, I'll show you how to install the program and log in. Then I'll guide you through the interface of the program and we'll have a closer look at the basic functions of the program. To download, please click the link in the video description, so you also support my channel a little bit. After you have activated the button Free Download, download, and with a double click, the program will be installed. At the first start, you have to register at NextPCB to be allowed to use the program. When this is done, you can start. A simple drag and drop is enough to display the files in the program. Of course, there are also the corresponding menu items. In the lower right corner, we can change the display from inch to mm. However, the analysis messages all mostly refer to the imperial system and use mil as the default measurement, so I would recommend to leave the measurement unit at inch. With the key F, the display can be adjusted: vector filled, empty, and simple display in the order. A few words about the operation, which sadly takes some getting used to. You can zoom in via the scroll wheel plus control key. You can move the section by holding down the right mouse button. There are different possibilities to select elements in the display. For example, to follow the course of a signal completely. There are several options you can choose from in the button bar in the upper left corner. I would first activate Select Layer Network. If you now click on a trace, it will be selected on all layers. The display of both layers at the same time is a bit difficult to see. It's best to turn on only the layer you want to edit. With a simple click on the colored rectangle, you can turn the layer on or off. In addition, there is a nice representation via Design/Simulated, in which you can display the color of the PCB as well as the pads in silver or gold. Via the bulky button Output Simulation Diagram, you can also save the designs as PNG file. NextDFM can analyze the most common design problems with just one click. For Gerber files, the NextDFM software can not only automatically detect the layer type, file format, and orientation, but also pinpoint the problems. You can find this function under DFM Analysis. NextDFM already brings the DFM settings of NextPCB, so the limits with which your PCB can be produced. A window opens and all parameters are tested. If something is noticeable, this is displayed with orange as a warning or critical errors with red. In my example, I have several warnings as well as errors in my design, so let's look at minimum track spacing first. In the window, we can decide on the left side which layer we want to see. So in my case, the top or bottom layer. Below, we can decide if we always want to see all layers or only the faulty one. The message consists of warnings or errors, here marked with 1 or 2 exclamation marks. Pan only recommended, so that the error is not unnaturally enlarged and you still know where you are. So let's get to the analysis. At NextPCB, a recommended distance between tracks is given as 6 mm. Here we are shown the place where we would have to adjust our PCB. With pad to track, it looks the same. You can now move the vias or even design some lines a bit thinner. If we close the window and look at another error, we activate copper/edge gap. At this point, we can see very nicely how some copper surfaces are touched when milling out. This should be changed under circumstances. With a series production with hundreds of printed circuit boards, this would be an error source. Now I've shown an example of a very complex PCB from the internet. Here are some interesting errors which I do not want to withhold from you. You can also see this by going to OshPark and downloading one of the shared projects. I'll show you the process in fast forward here. A test run generates some errors for us. Let's have a look at the red electrical signal button first. Here the signals go to nothing, so they end without a contact to another pin or via. The author should fix this. Also, it is interesting to have a look at the warnings. Let's try hole on/in pad. Here, holes in pads are displayed. You can do that, but you should not. I also like to do this because sometimes it is the last possibility to place a via. Here you can see how a via was placed in a contact area. Now you surely ask yourself, is such a program useful? Just as an example, you get a zip file with Gerber files and you have to change some things in the file. Without the original files from Eagle or Easy Editor, this will be difficult. But here, NextDFM can help. Next to the analysis tools, there is the menu item Edit, and here it gets interesting. Here you can change elements, remove or add things. So without the original board file, you are able to adapt Gerber files to your needs. But this adventure we will do in the next section. So that should be enough for today. If you want to know more, then subscribe to my channel and activate the bell. As soon as part 2 comes next month, you will receive a message. Greetings, your Frank.